Hi y'all, today I'm showing you how to make my Southern Grandma's famous oatmeal cookies. They're absolutely delicious. Ingredients you'll need: 3 cups of rolled oats, 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, half a cup of granulated sugar, 2 sticks of softened butter, 1 cup of dark brown sugar, 1.5 cups of raisins, half a teaspoon of kosher salt, 2 large eggs, 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, half a teaspoon of ground ginger, 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. You'll need to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Now first up, I just take the 2 sticks of softened butter and I put them in the stand mixer bowl. And I add 1 cup of dark brown sugar. If you have light brown, that's fine as well, but dark just gives it a deeper flavor because it has a molasses in it. My grandma has a molasses cake as well. It's so good. So next we're going to add a half a cup of granulated sugar, and then we're going to whip this until light and fluffy. It's a standard start of a cake or a cookie. Just takes a moment. It takes about, I guess, maybe 3 or 4 minutes for it to really become light and fluffy. Sometimes a little longer. And next I'm just measuring out and cracking open the 2 eggs and putting them to the side so I'll have it ready when it becomes how I want it to be. But first I'm going to add a tablespoon of my vanilla extract that I actually made, the homemade kind. But you don't have to use homemade at all, of course. And then add 2 room temperature eggs, and it's important at the room temperature and doing it one at a time to let it incorporate. And then once that's done, I always scrape down the bowl, and then I whip it again. And once that's done, and I feel like it's all incorporated, and I have it to the consistency I want, which is very light and fluffy, almost like a whipped cream, I actually push it back to the side, and I'm going to measure out 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour in a bowl. For some reason, I was using a half cup measure for the whole thing. And then I'm going to add, after this, I'm going to add the baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and then a half a teaspoon of kosher salt. And then I add a teaspoon of ground cinnamon and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, and then a half a teaspoon of ground ginger. And I mix all the dry ingredients really well because you don't want any lumps or any, any spices that would be unpleasant, or salt. And now I'm just measuring out in a separate bowl 3 cups of oatmeal. And now I'm just putting the dry ingredients in the stand mixer bowl, and I'm going to mix it together before adding the oatmeal. And I'm not too worried about developing gluten because there's hardly any moisture. There's butter, of course, but and I scraped down the bowl, by the way, in between, just to make sure everything's incorporated. The flour, there's no lumps. So I'm not too worried about developing gluten because there's just a tablespoon of vanilla extract. And now I'm going to add the oats and 1.5 cups of raisins. You can add more, by the way, if you want more raisins. Just up to you. I have a version of this. I mix it on low, by the way, of this cookie. It's called the garbage can cookie, where it's an oatmeal cookie, but it has all kinds of things in it. I'll make it one day for y'all. And so now we're just basically ready, but I didn't make them right away. I actually put them overnight, and then I came back to it. And I just measure out ping pong size dough balls, and then I put them on. I bought a silicone mat here so I could bake stuff instead of always using parchment paper. That'd be easier for the holidays, especially because we make so many cookies. And now I just place it in the preheated oven, the cookies, and they'll bake for 9 to 12 minutes. And these are a chewy, crispy cookie. And the dough that you don't use, you can store in the freezer until you're ready to use it. I only baked off 12 cookies, and the rest I just put in a container, and I put in the freezer until I was ready to use them again. And the recipe gives you 3 dozen crispy, chewy cookies, by the way. They're so good. And this is what they look like. Again, this is what they look like. They're absolutely delicious. Perfect with a cup of coffee or a glass of milk. To help our channel grow, we're asking everybody to please like, subscribe, and comment. If you're enjoying our content, and we really hope that you are, please consider becoming a subscriber. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does help us out tremendously. We also ask that you please watch the video from beginning to end, because that also helps out. It's all because of how the YouTube algorithm works. Otherwise, we stay hidden, and all these things are necessary for growth on YouTube, and we all want to grow. Thank you all for your help. I post new videos 3 times a week, on Sundays at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and on Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. With the holidays coming up, we're very excited to be showing you how we celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas here in the South, with all of our Southern traditions going back hundreds of years. So please don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. We'll see you real soon. Thank you all for watching. We're very grateful to all of our new and old subscribers for supporting us and helping us grow. We know that Hurricane Helene and Milton has destroyed so many lives and communities, affecting so many who live here in the South and Southeast. So we're encouraging you to please help those in need by donating to the American Red Cross, the Salvation Army, World Central Kitchen, All Hands and Hearts, AmeriCares, Operation Blessing, and Save the Children. It's far from over from those who have been affected. They have months, if not years, of recovery. And right now, they need immediate things like food and water and just a helping hand. We're not affiliated with any of these organizations, but we know they're doing good work on the ground. Please stay safe, and as always, be blessed.